Alright, so we're in the middle of prepping. I'm also preparing for my gardening this year, so we compost in order to get the soil ready. So vegetable scraps, like the ends of the carrots where the tops would be, cores of any of this, potato peelings, anything like that, anything that's natural, no fats, no dairy, no grease, none of that to go into the compost. So if it comes from the earth, it can go back to the earth, it starts to decompose, and that's what gives your soil the nutrients. So that's plan 2 of what we're doing while we're cooking. And this will be a couple part because I can't remember how to work my camera. So things like this potato had a black spot in it. So this will go in the compost, not in what we're gonna eat, because it's already starting to turn a little bit. So we're gonna put that in the compost pile. All right, now that we've massacred all of our vegetables in this lovely pile of stuff, we have the cabbage, the potatoes, the carrots are all cut up in there. Those will go in the pot. We're gonna add our corned beef brisket. So these guys, and there's 4 of them. So I'm gonna cut those open and put them in. I like to do this over the sink because they do tend to be a little bit messy. In these ones, there is not only the meat, but there is also a little sauce packet included. Yep, there it is. So we put the fatty side down. You want to pull out your little sauce pouch and set that aside because you're going to need it here in just a minute. All right, so all of our spice packets that came with our corned beef go in with the meat. There's 4 of them. So there's 4 of these. We add all of them to our meat in our big pot, Big Bertha, my cauldron, my lovely big stock pot. Only use it a couple times a year when I'm making big batches of stuff. Okay, so spices are in. The next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna fill it to cover the meat with water. So we definitely wanna make sure that it's completely covered because it's going to boil in the spices. We're gonna fill that all the way up. All right, so this is our big pot. The meat is in there, the spices are in there, and the water. So normally you would let this cook for roughly an hour or 2 hours, the meat by itself and the water with the spices, before you would add your vegetables. And so we're gonna let that come to a full boil, set a timer for about an hour. The last hour is when you would add all of your veggies. So this big, lovely bunch of vegetables is what would go in after your first hour. You would let the stuff cook for 2 to 3 hours, depending on how many pounds of food that is in there. This one, we're gonna let it cook for the full 3 hours because there's roughly 6 or 8 pounds of the meat and then another probably 3 or so pounds of vegetables. All right, so the last video will be the final product of everything all finished. And this is my way of showing you guys some knowledge that I've learned over my lifetime. And so I wanted to incorporate that into the new channel. So we're gonna have a lot of recipes on here, different things that either I've learned or different things that I really enjoy making. And I hope you guys will try them.